You know, if we're honest with ourselves, there are losses that never come with a funeral. No folded programs, no songs sung softly at the edge of a grave, just a quiet realization that the person you once called every day now lives in a different season than you do. And the truth is, nobody really teaches us how to grieve that. We're taught how to hold on. We're praised for loyalty. We're told that love proves itself by endurance. But very little prepares us for the moment when growth itself becomes the separating line. When you still love someone deeply, sincerely, and yet you can feel bone deep that you can no longer walk the same road together. I've seen this truth not just in personal life, but in the long arc of human relationships. In neighborhoods I once worked in, people stayed bound together by shared struggle until one person began to change, gaining education, perspective, a different sense of self, and suddenly the old conversations no longer fit. Not because anyone failed, but because evolution rarely asks permission. It simply arrives. And when it does, it brings a quiet ache with it. Because outgrowing someone you still love feels like betrayal, even when it isn't. It feels like abandonment, even when it's simply honesty. In this century we're living through, that ache has only grown louder. Technology keeps old ties breathing long after their time has passed. A name flashes on a screen. A memory resurfaces uninvited. And we mistake access for alignment. We mistake history for destiny. But love, real love, isn't about freezing people in time. It's about honoring who they were and who they've become, even when that becoming no longer includes you in the same way. That's a hard truth, one that doesn't fit neatly into slogans or social media captions. I've learned that the danger isn't in outgrowing people. The danger is pretending you haven't. Because when you deny growth, resentment moves in quietly. You show up physically, but you're gone emotionally. You start shrinking yourself to keep the peace. And over time, that shrinking costs you your joy, your clarity, your sense of purpose. That's not loyalty, that's slow self-erasure. And no healthy society, no healthy democracy can be built on citizens who feel they must disappear to belong. Leadership, at its core, is about stewarding change with compassion. And that applies just as much to our personal lives as it does to our public ones. There is a moral courage in saying, I love you, and I also need to grow. There is dignity in releasing someone without making them the villain of your story. And there is grace in understanding that some people are meant to walk with us for a chapter, not the whole book. That doesn't diminish the chapter, it honors it. What gives me hope is that more people are beginning to name this grief. They're finding language for it. They're creating rituals of gratitude instead of silent distance. They're learning that love can evolve without disappearing. And when that happens, when we normalize honest goodbyes instead of forced permanence, we become healthier, freer, more capable of forming deeper bonds ahead. That's how communities stay alive. That's how trust survives change. So I'll leave you with this thought, offered quietly, without judgment. Who in your life do you still love, but no longer grow alongside? What truth have you been postponing out of fear of being misunderstood? And what kind of person might you become if you allowed love to change shape instead of holding it still? If this reflection resonated with you, take a moment to share your thoughts in the comments. Your story might be the permission someone else needs. And if you want more conversations like this, grounded in honesty and quiet clarity, subscribe and stay with us. Sometimes growth begins simply by listening and being willing to let go.